I'm Jules Pieri. I'm co-founder and CEO of The Grommet, and this is how my big idea hatched. Back in the 90s, I was working at Play School, the big toy company, and I noticed that we had wonderful ideas, and yet we kept making the same old stuff. We didn't launch some of our very best ideas. And I went to my boss at the time and asked, and she said to me, if we don't launch something, there are only 4 reasons. Target, Walmart, Kmart, or Toys R Us don't want it, so it won't get made. One thing that is universally interesting to our community is the moment of inspiration, sort of the, when did this company get hatched? How did it get born? So we always emphasize that with our makers when they're telling their story. Don't forget that. It's old news to you. It's the most important thing to everyone else. Our motto of joyfully discovering all the companies and the interesting, innovative products that you might want to know about is not in the least bit American, it's human. Taking Grommet on the road and across the oceans is the next frontier. Every company has challenges, and it might be competition, it might be talent, it could be, there's always going to be something. Ours was definitively fundraising. It was excruciatingly difficult to raise capital for this company, especially in the financial crisis. One day in the middle of my fundraising saga, I was in Cambridge, Massachusetts, walking between one VC appointment and another, and in the middle of the street, my shoes just started disintegrating underneath me. At the second pitch, I had to kind of like stand on my toes to pretend I still had heels on my shoes, and for me, those shoes are really important. I've saved them. They're a metaphor, an artifact of my actual life at the time. I walked my shoes off for my company. I've realized how critical it is to make sure women can get access to capital for starting businesses. On July 3rd, 2012, when a lightning storm, like only Detroit can do, woke me up, and I stumbled out of my room to look at the lightning. It was powerful, magnificent. Went back in my room and the phone rang, and it was my aunt in the hospital telling me that my mother had passed. And I was feeling everything a person feels at that moment, no matter how much you expect it. And then I was looking down at my phone, thinking like, who do I call? What do I do? I haven't done this before. And I noticed that just at the time of that lightning bolt, that Rakuten had sent over the letter of intent to invest in the company. Grommet was saved. I'm in my hometown of Detroit, and I'm standing in front of my abandoned elementary school, DJ Healy. And this is where my drive to excel really hatched. And this is my house where I grew up. I moved here when I was 4. I'm the oldest of 4 children. So my dad was a skilled tradesman. He was a tool maker in a local transmission plant. He got this ring from Ford Motor Company. It's engraved with Ford and 30, and the 30 means a recognition of his showing up every day for 30 years, never missing a day. I think for my mom, success was about being a good person, about having a strong family. So that's what she paid the most attention to. I was in 9th grade. I was thinking about high school and not too excited about my local public option. And a teacher clued me in to the possibility of going to a private school called Cranbrook. I snuck behind my parents' backs, literally, like snuck down to our basement and called the school, got the application, applied without their knowledge. And I realize now I was acting on something that's been really important to me all my life. Just outside my office at The Grommet is a huge statement. It is better to ask forgiveness than permission. I think it's really important to try hard things that make you feel squeamish or scared from a young age. You're working on a really important thing, your confidence, and you're really developing your confidence muscle. So I would tell them, like, within your own little world, take those on. Like, don't, if something makes you feel scared, that may be a sign that you should be doing it.
walk right through it.